I want to finish this section on operations with two things that every good company has. Slightly weird, but I hope you like it. Now, the first thing that every good company has is appraisals. I've never seen a good company that doesn't do appraisals. But also, every bad company doesn't do appraisals. I've never seen a bad company doing appraisals. So appraisals immediately tell me whether it's a good or a bad company. So in your company, do you have appraisals? And by appraisals, it could be one-to-ones, you might call them that, you might call them PDRs, personal development reviews, whatever you call it. This is where you sit down maybe once a year or maybe twice a year, and you have a one-to-one with each person who directly reports to you, and you just talk about how do you feel the last year's gone, what are your plans for the next year, what would you like to get into and do more of for next year. So we review the past year, good and bad, and then we talk about the future. What sort of training do they need? What sort of things do they want to get into? And you get them to open first every time. So you say to them, how do you think it's gone? You don't just wade in with, you haven't been very good at this. You say, how do you think you've done? And often people are quite harsh on themselves. So often you think they've done pretty well, but they say, oh, well, I don't think I did this very well. And you can say, well, why do you say that? And would you like any training for that? And so you haven't criticised them at all. And you can say, well, actually, I think you've done pretty well. And that's really nice for them to hear. So appraisals are really vital. For some reason, everyone avoids appraisals. Nobody ever wants to do them. I think the managers don't like the time that it takes, and they don't like having to be honest with the people who work for them. They don't like to have to criticise the people who work for them. But I think they also don't like having to praise the people who work for them because it's a bit weird, it's a bit personal. But it's so important to do appraisals because they fix every possible problem you can have between you and your workforce. So maybe they think they're doing badly when actually they're doing really well. An appraisal will fix that. Maybe they think they're doing really well when they're not. An appraisal will fix that. Maybe they just don't know how they're doing. Maybe they don't know what the future holds. Maybe they've got plans and dreams of things they'd like to do and you've got no idea. Maybe they're bored and you don't know. The appraisal fixes everything to do with what's in your head and what's in their head and any differences between the two. So it's really important to have appraisals and to make sure that your people do their appraisals. Don't let one of your managers get away with not doing appraisals. There's no excuse for that. Everyone must do them. And to make sure they do them, just get a copy yourself of what they've done. You don't have to worry about the detail of what's in there, but you just want to know that they have done those appraisals. So that's the first thing that every good company has. The second thing that every good company has, is a bit of an odd one, is tidiness. Tidiness tells you all you need to know. So if you show me your factory for just 30 seconds, I'll know whether it's well run or not. If you've just got lots of filthy dirt underneath the machines and broken stuff lying around or old pallets around the back, I'll know that it's not a well-run ship. So 100% of the whole place must be spot on. Can't have any little corners, junk hidden away, corners of the car park, old pallets. If your factory is spotless, I'm impressed. And if it's not, then I'm not impressed. And customers kind of know this. So when customers arrive and park in the car park, if there's a old rusty machine in the corner that you've never got rid of, or a pallet covered in bits of old stretch wrap, customers will see that and they'll know that it's not a good sign. Or if the place isn't clean, if the windows are dirty, or if the sign is broken, customers are going to know. Now, I'm going to come to customer service in a minute, but cleanliness of a factory tells me a huge amount. And I think offices are similar. If an office has got a huge amount of paper and junk piled up, I know it's inefficient. I'm thinking, what is halfway down that pile? Is that a customer order that's halfway down that pile of paper? That's got forgotten. That's never going to be sorted out. What are you doing? So it's really important that offices and factories are organised and tidy. And that's something that you should be a stickler for if you're the big boss.